Hello there and welcome to IMPARIED. It is proudly brought to you by West Blue Consulting, Goyle Company Limited, Ghana Community Network Services, Ghana Revenue Authority, the Customs Division, and folks, the proud media partner for this program is the Business and Financial Times, the Graphic Business, the Ghana Web and Maritime and Transport Digest. This week, quite a number of things have happened within the port and maritime industry, and it is our duty to bring them closer to you and also bring you closer to the port. Folks, this week it was evident that the government or the finance ministry is not entirely happy with the customs division of the Ghana Revenue Authority. Now, according to government, there's a lot of leakage within the customs engagement and the customs establishment, for which they are throwing a lot of and heavy caution to the officers of the customs division to ensure that whatever leakage it is blocked immediately, so that government is able to make its revenue out of the division, particularly coming from the port area. So this week, the finance minister stormed the port and had a strong warning for customs.
The finance minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, and his deputy, Kweku Kwateng, stormed the port of TEMA and the customs long room in particular to send a clear signal to senior management of the customs division of the Ghana Revenue Authority that government will do all in its power to stop any form of revenue leakages, even if it means declaring war on unscrupulous officers who collude with freight forwarders and importers to deny the state of its needed due revenue.
Then we came to customs to have a discussion with the senior management and let them know how serious it is with regards to revenue mobilization, our preparedness to back them, and their own complexity in ensuring that that the type of revenues that we want come up. And I think a lot of interesting things came up.
The finance minister emphasized that the government of Ghana is very keen on raking all due revenue for national development and has targeted to fulfill that obligation by leveraging the Ghana Revenue Authority.
What that means is that people who are misclassified, etc., just go away free. And so that's worrying. So if you are not prepared to do your work well, then maybe we should shift you to somewhere else. So I think the need for people to know that there will be accountability for what they do is what we are going to initiate.
He revealed, though, that so far the domestic tax division of the Ghana Revenue Authority has improved upon its target, but the customs division of GRA are still achieving below its target.
Year to date, domestic services are performing about 35% beyond their target, and customs is about 10.9% below. And so clearly there needs to be a focus.
The finance minister indicated that as the parent ministry of GRA, it is taking up initiatives to reform in order to find innovative ways to mobilize revenue for the state. He said one of such measures include the appointment of commissioners who are for the first time chosen from outside the authority. According to him, this represents a newness in approach to doing things in the sector.
On June 1st, for the first time in the history of Revenue Authority, we changed all the 3 commissioners and they come in from outside of the authority. Expectation is that things will be done differently with much more innovation, and there will be no sacred cows.
He emphasized the seriousness of ministry to provide all the needed support to make sure revenue mobilization objectives are a success, especially by taking advantage of the projected efficiency expected from the new Terminal 3, which is the expanded TEMA port.
We visited MPS to see where the new sense of how efficiency at the port is going to be. And I think they're going to end up doing about 45% of the customs business there.
Touching on the directive to reduce import duties of general goods by 50% and vehicles by 30%, Ken Ofori-Atta disclosed that the initiative was to register in the minds of traders and port users that Ghana's port is affordable and efficient. According to him, the new port expansion project would elevate Ghana's status as an efficient port.
The challenge for us is how to look at the long term. What did we seek to achieve? We sought to register in the client's minds that Ghana is going to be the most efficient and cheapest entry point, and the expectation is that that will result in increased volumes. And what we have done, the beginning of MPS, which will be soon, which will create sort of the deepest berth, literally between here and Cape Town. We are going to see a change in shipping lines network.
So we can only wish customs well as they endeavor to meet all those expectations coming from government. Also this week, the China Harbour Engineering Company, the company constructing the Terminal 3 Meridian Port Services new terminal of the TEMA port expansion project, were able to undertake some special assignment. It was very good on their part. They rescued some fisher folk who were drowning at the seas there at the Anchorage within the maritime enclave of Ghana. And that's because their boat on which they were fishing capsized.
A group of 9 fishermen from TEMA New Town have been rescued by the safety team of the China Harbour Engineering Company. The fishermen were rescued after their boat was capsized by a heavy storm that struck TEMA in the early hours of Monday, 8th July 2019. According to Heng Chong, a safety engineer of Czech, the company constructing the new port expansion on behalf of the Meridian Port Services, an alarm was raised by his team after they identified a strife at the port's anchorage. He said a tugboat was deployed to rescue the struggling fishermen to bring them to safety. The Chinese engineer said first aid was given to the rescued fishermen, who he confirmed are in a stable health condition, and then handed them over to the GPHA security.
They rescued the 9 people and they called us. So they called us for ambulance for transportation to pick them at the Kasen jetty, our jetty. So we got an ambulance and picked all of them. We called the MPS, our client. They told us we should take all the people come to GPHA to report.
The 3 fishing boats which carried the fishermen were unable to be salvaged. The fishermen, recounting their experience, said they have lost a lot of resources due to the storm and fear they would suffer economic hardship as a result. So they appealed to government for assistance.
Since onhwin kupunu no boy is there in the subia say ekogajiska won nchen and say on boy.
The fishermen admitted that their activities to embark on fishing in low and high waters are very risky and decided to be more cautious in their approach by using safety equipment and getting familiar with the weather forecast.
I say inya wedo we are able to me to another station to say we are saying is infamable to and say baby basi the
GPHA security officer in charge of intelligence, Sheikh Salif Ubari, urged the Ministry of Fisheries to intensify education for fishermen to procure more durable and safer boats.
These fishermen, they need education. They need to be educated because most of them goes to the sea without even the apron or the life jacket. Imagine if this boat, if they were not to be seen by this boat, what would have happened? So they need to be educated. And I know it is the responsibility of some industry. I think the fishing ministry must be up in doing.
So great job there done by the Czech folks rescuing those fisher folk. In the meantime, there's a lot of caution going out there to fishermen and the fishing industry in Ghana. The International Maritime Organization says, you know, safety of boats that are used by fisher folk is key.
The safety of fishers and fishing vessels form part of the International Maritime Organization's mandate. However, the fishing industry from a global perspective is reported not to have an acceptable safety record. A number of factors have been identified as reasons that have contributed to this development, including technical and legal constraints on the part of member states of the International Maritime Organization to implement the organization's protocols to ensure safety and smooth operation in the fishing sector. For instance, it is cited that the Cape Town Agreement of 2012 of the IMO's protocol is the revised version on earlier protocols that binds member states to commit to the fight against illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing activities with the aim of safeguarding fishers and fishing vessels. The provision of the protocol agreement includes setting equal standards for all vessels of 24 meters length and above, ensure mandatory international requirements for stability and associated seaworthiness, life-saving appliances, communications equipment or fire protection, as well as fishing vessel construction. It is against this backdrop that the International Maritime Organization is organizing seminars globally, especially in the African region, to encourage member states of the IMO to ratify the convention with the view of enhancing safety of fishers and vessels. In Accra, Ghana, the IMO has collaborated with the Ghana Maritime Authority for the regional seminar on the implementation and ratification of the Cape Town Agreement of 2012, which attracted favorable participation from key maritime and fishing sector stakeholders from Ghana and its neighboring countries. In the opening ceremony of the workshop, Sandra Allnut, head of Maritime Safety Division of the IMO, said illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing activities do not only compromise safety but have dire consequences on environment and fish health.
Be a number of factors that have contributed to this. There can be no doubt that the lack of an effective global regulatory regime has played a significant part in this status quo. Illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing, which we know as IUU fishing, is also a serious issue for the global fishing sector.
She said the IMO is dedicated to provide support to member governments to fulfill the obligation of the Cape Town 2012 Protocol of Safety of Fishing and asks for consistent feedback from relevant fishing sector institutions.
With these activities, the organization seeks on this occasion to provide support for administrations to fulfill their obligation as member governments, while at the same time it is important to get back feedback and comments based on your experiences and the deliberations.
The Minister of Transport, Kweku Foresiama, said the Ghana fishing industry employs about 10,000 people directly and contributes millions of dollars to the nation's economy. Hence, the sustainability of the fishing industry is of grave importance to the government, and admitted that Ghana needs to step up in its management of the fishing sector.
The sustainability of the fishing industry is therefore a very crucial part that we need to deal with it. There are presently about 125 fishing vessels with a length of about 24 meters or more on our register, and all are to a greater extent not properly managed because of the lack of requisite regulations.
The Director General of the Ghana Maritime Authority, Thomas Alonsi, urged stakeholders to help enforce international regulations in order to avert the reputation of a historically unsafe fishing industry.
The picture painted here of the fishing industry is quite gloomy, but this does not have to be so. All it needs is for the requisite international regulations to be put in place and enforced to help eliminate factors that lead to these fatalities. This can only be done if all stakeholders take the necessary steps to ensure that the Cape Town Agreement comes to fruition.
So coincidentally, as the fisher folk were drowning and got rescued by the Czech folks, the IMO is also cautioning that we use very safe boats for our fishermen there in order to ensure their safety as well as that of their boats. In the meantime, you heard in that piece again that there were a lot of talks about security. Now, the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority security men and women, they are on top of this. Now, this week they said they are raiding the entire port environs to ensure that no unwarranted or unwanted settlers are found around the port there, because sometimes when you find those unwanted settlers, they undertake some unscrupulous activities.
The Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority Security, in collaboration with allied security agencies, including the Ghana Navy, the military and the police, have embarked on an operation to eliminate all illegal settlers, a large chunk believed to be alleged criminals around the port enclave. According to the port security, intelligence gathered indicates that many of the illegal settlers around the port enclave engage in the abuse of illicit drugs and trade in them, which has become of social concern to the Port Authority and the nation at large, culminating in the organization of massive raid and demolition exercise. During the exercise, 45 Ghanaians, including 7 females, 19 Burkina babes, 2 Nigerians, a Sierra Leonean and an Ivorian were arrested and handed over to the Railways and Marine Police Unit for investigations and necessary action. Items such as cannabis, assorted hard liquors and pharmaceutical drugs such as cough syrups and pain relievers were also found in their possession and seized. The port security manager, Colonel Joseph Punamani, emphasized that this exercise is the first of many to follow to ensure that no such illegal settlers are encouraged to occupy the port space.
But this one, me myself, I was not trying to achieve surprise, because I just want to send a signal that we are awake and will continue to harass and deal with all the criminals and to get rid of them.
Meanwhile, the Marketing and Public Affairs Manager of TEMA Port was speaking at the United Nations Forum and said that the Ports and Harbours Authority considers security at the top of its priorities.
Marketing and Public Affairs Manager of TEMA Port, Sewa Opokufosu, has reaffirmed that the paperless processes at Ghana's ports have improved turnaround time of cargo, transparency and ease of doing business at the port.
There is a reduction in the cargo clearance time, because once you pay and you sit and you indicate when you want to work, we position the cargo for you to come. Therefore, if you are an agent, you are working on about 5 or 6 containers, I mean, you could actually freely move from one terminal to the other, because you have to sit in the office to do the process. And then also we've reduced the face-to-face interactions.
Speaking at the United Nations Public Service Day celebrated in Accra, the Marketing and Public Affairs Manager of TEMA Port emphasized that the much-touted paperless system is just an aspect of the single-window paradigm, which also includes the mandated joint inspection and the removal of custom barriers along Ghana's transit corridor, which were championed by the Vice President of Ghana to reduce bottlenecks that hamper the seamless clearance of goods from Ghana's ports.
When Ghana signed on to the Trade Facilitation Agreement of the WTO in January 2017, one of the key aspects was that we needed a single platform where all the processes are done to ensure that we facilitate the trade faster, and then also that we reduce the cost of doing business. And that is how the single window system came into being.
The UN Public Service Day celebrates the value and virtue of public service to the community and highlights the contribution of public service in the development process. She added that the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority is also keen on security, as it ensures that practices conform to International Ship and Port Facility Security Code, ISPS.
We were having our automatic identification systems for the vessels, where we are able to tell within a certain knot radius which vessels are in our waters. We had also, by virtue of the ISPS, International Port Facility Systems Security Code, we had also deployed CCTV all around the port. And then we had the Ghana Port Information System, which is a local broadcasting within the port environs, which has grown also into the Iron Port.
The Marketing and Public Affairs Manager also explained that efforts are still being made to perfect the paperless port clearance system.
All of us as stakeholders need to come to ensure that we fully integrate the system. And Customs is expected to develop what they call the robust risk engine, where they have profiled all importers so well that they know these ones can be trusted. So when they bring anything at all, you can just run it through for it to go without the intrusive inspection. And then we, as a port authority, we have to streamline our tariff.
Now, there's been a lot of focus on ladies who operate around the port and maritime industry, and the Port Ladies Association, plus the group there, continue to make their presence felt and significant within the Ghanaian society. This week, the PLUS team did a very wonderful gesture to the visually impaired at the Akropong School of the Blind. Take a listen.
Women in the port and maritime industry are leading the charge to elevate the socio-economic status of deprived communities as much as they can within their capabilities. The Port Ladies Association, which is made up of all the dynamic female employees of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, have just given a meaning to giving back to support their society by reaching out to the less privileged in some educational institutions. The Port Ladies visited the Okwapeman Secondary School and the Akropong School of the Blind to inspire and offer support to the students, especially the visually impaired, who are also struggling financially to support their schooling. At the Okwapeman Secondary School, the headmaster said the institution has placed greater importance to the visually impaired section of the school and continually looking for ways to improve the learning conditions of the students of the section. However, the school needs assistance to further that cause, which is why it calls upon corporate organizations and associations to come to their aid.
Whenever we are writing examination, we have power interruption. And we have a very big school plant. And sometimes, for the purpose of few students who be writing, the school will have to put on that power just to consume a lot of fuel. So we will need something that will be limited to only this place so that it will reduce the school's expenditure. You are in position, or you have people who can help us acquire better furniture for our students.
The department head outlined some of the specific challenges of the visually impaired school, which include inadequate learning equipment as the population grows, electricity challenges, as well as the need for more dormitory facilities to house the students. He called for GPHA and other corporate organizations to help provide support in the area of infrastructure to grow the school.
We actually publicized our visit here very much to our abilities, and we are hopeful that we will continue to receive support for this department that we have taken upon ourselves to support. So we hope that we will continue to receive many items that we can come and present to you from time to time.
President of the Port Ladies Association, Philippa Amanda Ama, assured of continuous support from the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority in helping to meet the needs of the underprivileged.
Some decades ago, I was a former student of this school, some 26, 25 years ago. Little did I know that I will ever come here to stand and do such a thing. But then I think I take one inspiration from a certain verse of the anthem.
Rachel Boachi Yadom, a visually impaired public relations officer of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, whose service the company has benefited from for more than a decade and also happens to be an alumnus of the school, encouraged the young students to keep persevering to acquire a good education in order to improve upon their lives and that of their families.
We need this kind of support. It is the government which is supporting this school. However, the government alone cannot do it. So we need the support of benevolent organizations, groups, individuals, etc., etc. So your coming here is in line with, I think, your social responsibility.
Yes.
And helping these children will help them to be on their feet, to become responsible citizens.
At the Akropong School for the Blind, the headmaster asked for more support from corporate organizations to allocate some section of the corporate social responsibility to helping deprived institutions such as the School for the Blind, so that the visually impaired youth can be adequately trained to participate meaningfully in society. The Port Ladies donated to the two schools bags of rice, oil, fish, mattresses, toiletries, sanitary pads, cleaning and washing detergents, some clothes, and mobile phones for teachers, as well as special sponsorship to specific needy students.
Our report returns after the break. Stay with us.
Here's innovation from GOIL that takes you further. New GOIL Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes have been expertly crafted with the latest in liquid engineering technology, highly advanced for modern engines, prolongs oil change intervals, save you fuel, clean, protect and enhance engine performance. The way engines work has become complex, and GOIL has innovated to stay ahead. Expertly crafted lubricants that work excellently with all petrol and diesel engines of today. New GOIL Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes. Innovation that takes you further. GOIL. Good energy.
Dear valued client, the Ghana Trade Hub mobile app is now live to make it easy to track your consignment and know the estimated duty payable for both general goods and used vehicles. We are pleased to inform you that the Ghana Trade Hub mobile app is available for download on Google Play Store for Android users and the App Store for Apple users. This is the best opportunity for all importers and exporters to know the duty payable on every good under transaction. You can reach the team for inquiries and support by calling +233 242 435 663. Send an email to support@ghanastradinghub.com. To remain updated, kindly follow progress on the following platforms: www.facebook.com/Ghana Trade Hub, www.twitter.com/Ghana Trade Hub, and ghlinkedin.com/in/Ghana Trade Hub. Importers and exporters can download the official Ghana Single Window mobile app, which allows you to track your consignment conveniently and also allows you to obtain your estimated duty for general goods and used vehicles. Please spread the message to everyone importing or exporting. The Ghana Trading Hub mobile app is now live. Download and never be cheated. This is powered by the Smart Ports project under the auspices of the Government of Ghana and the Ghana Revenue Authority. Smart Port, improving Ghana's ease of doing business.
Utiliser les ports de TEMA et de Takoradi, c'est avoir un traitement rapide et sécurisé de vos marchandises diverses en conteneurs, en sac ou en vrac, ainsi que tous vos véhicules en transit. Le Ghana a construit un parking bien pavé pour tous les véhicules en transit. Une nouvelle gare frigorifique pour le stockage de la marchandise congelée en transit. Avec un nouveau centre de traitement de données construit et la mise en œuvre efficace d'un guichet unique national qui permet aux données d'être accessibles par tous les intervenants, le traitement des dossiers dans les ports du Ghana est maintenant efficace et plus efficient. Utiliser les ports du Ghana, c'est profiter des systèmes de portes électroniques et d'exploitation des terminaux ainsi que de la réservation des navires en ligne, entraînant ainsi un parc de camions fiable pour un acheminement de vos marchandises dans les brefs délais avec un suivi satellitaire jusqu'à nos frontières.
Les femmes, à vous les honneurs.
Les ports de TEMA et de Takoradi célèbrent la femme. Que les bienfaits de cette célébration apportent plus de bénédictions.
Welcome back from the break. You're still watching Iron Port and International Port News next.
The National Maritime Bureau's latest report has revealed that the seas around West Africa remain the world's most dangerous marine areas for piracy. According to the report, of the 75 seafarers taken hostage on board or kidnapped for ransom worldwide so far this year, 62 were captured in the Gulf of Guinea, specifically off the coast of Nigeria, Guinea, Togo, Benin, and Cameroon. Worldwide, the IMB Piracy Reporting Center recorded 78 incidents of piracy and armed robbery against ships in the first half of 2019, compared with 107 incidents for the same period of 2018. Overall, 57 vessels were boarded, representing 73% of all attacks. Pirates killed 1 person, took 38 crew members hostage, and kidnapped a further 37 for ransom. While recognizing that many attacks go unreported, IMB recorded 21 incidents around Nigeria so far in 2019, down from 31 in the same period of 2018. Despite the recent fall in Gulf of Guinea attacks, IMB is urging seafarers in the region to remain vigilant and report all suspicious activities to regional response centers and the IMB PRC. Nigeria has introduced a new anti-piracy bill in a bid to improve security in its territorial and exclusive economic zone waters. The Suppression of Piracy and Other Maritime Offences Bill 2019 has received President Muhammadu Buhari's assent after passing the Senate and House of Representatives on April 9 and April 30 respectively. West African waters are the world's most dangerous for piracy, according to the most recent International Maritime Bureau report. Nigeria's bill gives effect to the provision of the United Nations Convention on the Law of Sea 1982 and the International Convention on the Suppression of Unlawful Acts against the Safety of Navigation 1988 and its protocols. A TT Line ferry with 217 passengers on board caught fire while en route from Trelleborg, Sweden to Travemünde, Germany. The fire broke out just before the Peter Pan arrived in Travemünde in the afternoon hours of July 9. The company said the fire on the 44,245 GT vessel was caused by a mechanical damage on one of the 5 diesel generators. The 51 crew of the Sweden-flagged ferry managed to bring the fire under control, but the Peter Pan needed support of 2 tugboats to moor on dock 7 of the nearby Scandinavian quay on July 10. As explained by a company spokesperson, the fire remained limited to a single engine compartment and the passengers could disembark shortly after the fire was contained. TT Line further said that the damage assessment was ongoing, adding that 5 TT Line ferries are now available for passengers in a currently slightly modified timetable at this time. The Maritime and Port Authority of Singapore has signed a Memorandum of Understanding with China's Waterborne Transport Research Institute to enhance maritime collaboration. The agreement between MPA and the agency and the China's Ministry of Transport was signed during the 2019 Maritime Silk Road Port International Cooperation Forum in China on July 11. As explained, the MOU seeks to enhance cooperation in information exchange and research and development between the 2 agencies in areas such as smart port technology, maritime safety, and environmental protection.
Here's innovation from GOIL that takes you further. New GOIL Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes have been expertly crafted with the latest in liquid engineering technology, highly advanced for modern engines, prolongs oil change intervals, save you fuel, clean, protect and enhance engine performance. The way engines work has become complex and GOIL has innovated to stay ahead. Expertly crafted lubricants that work excellently with all petrol and diesel engines of today. New GOIL Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes. Innovation that takes you further. GOIL. Good energy.
Dear valued client, the Ghana Trade Hub mobile app is now live to make it easy to track your consignment and know the estimated duty payable for both general goods and used vehicles. We are pleased to inform you that the Ghana Trade Hub mobile app is available for download on Google Play Store for Android users and the App Store for Apple users. This is the best opportunity for all importers and exporters to know the duty payable on every good under transaction. You can reach the team for inquiries and support by calling +233 242 435 663. Send an email to support@ghanastradinghub.com. To remain updated, kindly follow progress on the following platforms: www.facebook.com/Ghana Trade Hub, www.twitter.com/Ghana Trade Hub, and ghlinkedin.com/in/Ghana Trade Hub. Importers and exporters can download the official Ghana Single Window mobile app, which allows you to track your consignment conveniently and also allows you to obtain your estimated duty for general goods and used vehicles. Please spread the message to everyone importing or exporting. The Ghana Trading Hub mobile app is now live. Download and never be cheated. This is powered by the Smart Ports project under the auspices of the Government of Ghana and the Ghana Revenue Authority. Smart Port, improving Ghana's ease of doing business.
Did Utiliser les ports de TEMA et de TACORADI, c'est avoir un traitement rapide et sécurisé de vos marchandises diverses en conteneurs, en sac ou en vrac, ainsi que tous vos véhicules en transit. Le Ghana a construit un parking bien pavé pour tous les véhicules en transit. Une nouvelle gare frigorifique pour le stockage de la marchandise congelée en transit. Avec un nouveau centre de traitement de données construit et la mise en œuvre efficace d'un guichet unique national qui permet aux données d'être accessibles par tous les intervenants, le traitement des dossiers dans les ports du Ghana est maintenant efficace et plus efficient. Utiliser les ports du Ghana, c'est profiter des systèmes de portes électroniques et d'exploitation des terminaux ainsi que de la réservation des navires en ligne, entraînant ainsi un parc de camions fiable pour un acheminement de vos marchandises dans les brefs délais avec un suivi satellitaire jusqu'à nos frontières.
Les femmes, à vous les honneurs.
Les ports de TEMA et de TACORADI célèbrent la femme. Que les bienfaits de cette célébration apportent plus de bénédictions.
It's now time to bring you the schedules of the vessels that are already in the port, those that are far away at the anchorage, those expected in the coming week, plus the Bank of Ghana exchange rate that you need to know to clear your goods out of the port. Next. And that's it for this week's episode of Eye on Port. I hope I've been able to bring the port activities closer to you and also you closer to the entire port, both in Ghana and across the globe. Thanks a lot to the entire crew who make the program possible. William Abe Kukina, Nelson Fiajo, Kada Faisal, Lennis Thompson, the executive producers of this program, Nana Esi Suduberg, and Mrs. Esther J.B. Donko. The producer for the program was Lawrence Gazy.